All right, so we are recording. This is our last team call of the year. Yay, I'm excited. I just feel like 2016 or the new year is going to be really awesome for a lot of you, so I'm excited. And I made a little PowerPoint so I can follow along. So let me be a teacher for a second and pull my PowerPoint up. It's going to help me stay on track a little bit easier. Okay, let's see. I wonder if okay, perfect. There we go. We want to present this. Okay, can y'all see that?
Yes.
Right, okay. So here's our team call. This is so you guys can write down a few of these things. That way, when I'm talking, I feel like sometimes things get lost and it's hard to remember stuff. So this is our last team call of the year for those of y'all who are watching it after this. And so I kind of wanted to, it's really low key. I just wanted to give you guys a couple like dates and important things to remember, and then give you guys an option to chat with me if you want to pick my brain about anything, or you have questions or want to share some of your goals and maybe have some ideas from me or some of the other diamonds about how to achieve those goals. So that's what tonight is for. But a couple things really quickly. So a lot of y'all registered for that vision board and like dreaming webinar, which is going to be awesome. What's her name? Andrea Crowder is really, really great at creative things like that. I've done a couple of her trainings and she's just awesome. She's so creative and has really great ideas, and is, if you can't tell from the way that she talks in her in her posts and stuff, she's very spunky. So I think it's going to be really good. So if you have not registered for that, I definitely would. It's on January 4th at 9. I think it's 9. It might be 9:30. I might be wrong, but I think it's 9 o'clock. And that's Eastern time. And it's just an informal thing. And they're going to be talking all about kind of creating a vision and dreaming and goals and stuff for the next year, which is really, really important. So if you're just starting as a coach, or if you never really got to a place where you really set clear, definable, attainable goals for yourself, then that is something that you definitely want to do for the new year as you start a whole new year of coaching, because it's so important and it's so great to feel like you've achieved a goal and be able to cross it off your list and move to the next one. So I'm excited about that, and I will be there with you on that. Now, the other thing, if I don't think they were thinking about this, is that the Beachbody Surge is also on January 4th, and that's from 8 to 10 Eastern time. Now, I will say this, that is recorded. It's Carl talking most of the time, and Jeff Hill and all the corporate guys. And it's usually really hard to get on. A lot of people usually have problems because it's literally, all 400,000 of us coaches trying to get on at the same time live on YouTube. And so you should get an email in your inbox today or tomorrow if you haven't, and it'll have the link to the YouTube channel for it. And so you can either queue in while you're watching the webinar, or you can also listen from your phone. But it is just basically Carl comes on and he announces the 2017, so not next year, but 2017 Success Club trip. So all year long, your Success Club points, you're going to be able to earn dollars towards that trip to go. So ultimately, you basically could pay for it for free, except for maybe your transportation to get to whatever the destination is. But like this year, it was a cruise for 2016. So anybody who decided to pay to go, they get all that money back depending upon their Success Club points, and it counts for different dollars, and they'll tell us how much counts for how many Success Club points on that surge. And then he'll also just talk about a bunch of strategies and tips and things to be successful in the new year. So that's something that you can watch live. A lot of times I just watch it the day after while I'm doing stuff, because it's so frustrating to sit there while it's turning and stopping and freezing all the time with so many people on. So that's up to you, but that is happening on January 4th. And then the next thing is Super Saturday. So some of you newer coaches who are just hopping on the call, you might not know what that is. It's just basically a huge event in your city. It could be small depending on where you live, but an event in your city, and it's a place for all of the Beachbody coaches to come together. You have a speaker from usually a top coach or a 5-star or above coach, or a coach that's doing really well and has a successful business story. They kind of share some of their tips and their story with you. A lot of places will have a group workout. There's samples of Shakeology, like at the Georgia one, we are getting to sample the new Shakeology, the cafe latte one. Megan's dancing over there.
I'm so excited.
I know, I am too. It's supposed to be really good. So that is happening on January 9th. So if you need help figuring out where one is local to you, you can message me, or you can also find that online in your back office. There's a whole list of cities where they're being hosted. Or if you're close to Georgia and you want to come join us, we've got like 15, 16 of us that are going to this one. So if you want to come and stay with me and go, you can. It's at 2:00 in Georgia. So I'm super excited about that. But I highly recommend getting there. It kind of gives you a mini taste of what Summit is like in Nashville when we'll be there in July. And it's 10 times better at Summit. But this is just like a mini sneak peek. And it's a great way to just kind of give you a little pump up and a little excitement. Especially as the first one of the quarter. So it's a great way just to network with other coaches and also learn some new tips and some new ideas. And we always learn something new. I still learn something new every time I go. So it's really fun. And then the last thing is the Utah Diamond Retreat trip that Micah is hosting. So any of you are still eligible to go to that. Some of you are closer to Diamond than others. Some of you are brand new coaches and you have no coaches underneath you. Some of you are Emeralds and moving towards Diamond. Whatever you are, it is still up to you to be able to go. You have to be a Diamond, so you have to rank advanced to Diamond by January 15th. And then after that, you cannot drop it. You cannot drop Diamond. If you do, then you lose your spot. But right now, there are only, I think we said 34 people officially going, and some of those may drop rank. So if that's the case, there are still a lot of spots for people to be able to go, and it's still a very high possibility. So if you are working towards that, remember you need, these are my 2 legs. You need 4 coaches on one leg, 4 coaches on the other, and then you need one of these coaches to be an Emerald and one of these coaches to be an Emerald. And remember, an Emerald is having their own 2 coaches. So very attainable. If you have coaches, be working with them and helping them, figure out what their goals are and helping them get to Emerald and so on and so forth. So you guys have a good 3 or 4 weeks still to be able to hit that if that is a goal of yours. So I just wanted to remind you about that too. Does anyone have questions about any of those dates or events or anything like that? Just speak. I can't see all of you, so just go ahead and talk.
If there are still spots available past January 15th, is she going to extend the deadline?
No.
No!
Girl, what are you talking about? You can be Diamond by then. You are so
I
close.
know, I'm so close.
You are so, so close. Don't say that. You are seriously so close. You really are. But no, as far as I know, she's not extending the deadline. So she's got like awesome swag bags that are like she's preparing already that she's told us all about. I mean, she's going all out. Everyone gets fitness portraits done there. We're going on excursions. I mean, everything is paid for when you go. You just have to get there. So, and remember, I even pay for, I can't remember, I pay for your ticket to go if you are eligible. So I will sponsor you to go. So if you make it a point to get there, all you have to pay for is your plane ticket there. And I take care of everything else, your housing, payment, and then she takes care of everything there. So super worth it to make that a goal. And it is not unattainable by any means. So just be thinking about that.
Taking Hudson?
What?
Are you taking Hudson?
Yes.
Okay.
We are. And Spencer will be with me.
Oh, crap. Okay.
Why?
Well, if I'm going, I'll have a baby in tow, and I will not.
That's okay. She's still bringing Briggs, and all of our babies are nursing still, so don't worry about it. There's gonna be all kinds. There's a couple more babies coming too. I can't think of the names of people right now, but
okay.
And some ultra prego people who might have a baby while we're there because. So, any other questions about dates and things like that? Anything? Make sure if you want to do that webinar that you do sign up. You have to sign up on the link that I posted in our team page so you can actually get the link to the webinar. You can't just say that you're going in case some of you missed that. Okay, we will move on. If you have questions later on, then just let me know. Okay, my next thing is I just wanted to tell you guys that I am really proud of you for making it through this time. I have had so many messages of people wanting to quit or being really frustrated at how just slow it is, and myself included. Micah's even had that happening to her and all of her coaches, and just in the entire network. Like in my 5-star and above group with all the top coaches, they're all having the same feeling too. This is like the hardest time to make it through coaching. So those of you who just signed up as coaches and who have just been doing it for a month or two, kudos to you for sticking it out and not quitting right now, because this really is the hardest time. It's the holidays. Nobody is thinking about getting fit. They want to just eat all the cookies and candy and cake that they want, and they don't really care about it until they get to New Year's, and they're like, man, I wish I would have worked out all this time. And then they're like, I need help. So I don't want you to discount how much that's a really awesome thing that you guys have made it through all this. So I want you to just take a deep breath. I want you to set your goals and really just get excited about the new year, get excited about all the hard work that you've been putting in, all of those seeds that you've been putting, all the messages and the comments and the likes and things that you've been doing on people's pages, because it will absolutely pay off. And I say that from experience now, after being at this for, I think I'm 14 months in now. And I really have been through every season of coaching now. And I started during the rough season, and it's even rougher the next year around, because it's, you're trying to push for new goals and things like that. But I will tell you that the new year brings so much excitement and so many new possibilities and new prospects and things like that. So all of you who really stayed consistent and focused hard on your goals, no matter what, no matter the challenge packs, sales, or anything, I'm really, really proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself. So good things to come in the new year. I just wanted to let you know that. Okay, next thing, really quickly, Micah again posted this in our big team page, and I posted it in the team page for you guys. But if you want those leads for January, those are like the free leads. Okay, so remember, if you hit Success Club 5, which is helping 3 people, that is, you get free customers from that. People who go on an infomercial maybe, and they say, if you need help, sign up for a coach. And they're like, okay, and you get assigned to them. So you are their coach. They might not have bought anything yet. They may have, and you don't get that commission yet, but they are people who you can build a relationship with, and they might become a customer later on. If you hit Success Club 10 and you're an Emerald coach, then you get like 2 to 3 leads of people who have bought Shakeology, and you actually get that commission. So it's like making free money for not doing anything, which is super awesome. So like this month, I think I got 3 different people who bought Shakeology, and I got commission from that, which is super great. So the higher up of a coach you are, the more that you push, the more Success Club points you have, the more leads that come into you, and they just kind of disperse them by coach rank. So really important if you wanted to do that. If not, if you're not an Emerald coach by tonight at midnight, then it'll be February before you'll get those leads, which is not a bad thing, but I just wanted to let you know in case that is your goal, in case you're really pushing for that. I don't want for you to miss out. You still have time. Does anyone have questions about that, or even what an Emerald is, or how to even do that? Anyone?
I do. Did you say rank matters? Like if you're a higher rank, you get more leads?
They do disperse them a little bit more among some of like the very, very top coaches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not that big of a difference, but pretty much people who are staying consistent with Success Club 10 every month should get about 2 to 3 leads a month, depending upon it. It could be somebody buying just a sampler, or you could be, well, I think Brianna, one of Micah's coaches, got somebody who bought like $300 worth of Shakeology, and she got all that commission the other month. So
I've gotten that too. So it's definitely worth it.
Exactly. It really is. And I have too. It just kind of depends on the month, and it just depends on who gets lucky and who gets whatever lead, and they don't specifically pick who gets what. It just all gets filtered out. So anybody else have questions about that, or is anyone trying to push for that and needs help tonight about becoming an Emerald or anything like that? No? Those of you who have coaches, be talking to your coaches. And I know all week long we've kind of been working on that with a bunch of people who are super close or who want it. But it's, it's the difference of getting a whole month of leads versus waiting a whole nother month before you get leads. So that's huge. That could be 2 to 3 people that you're missing out on, which is huge.
Do we have to hit Success Club by tonight, or is that by tomorrow?
By tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh.
Or by tomorrow, but your rank has to be tonight.
Gotcha.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
You're good. But if yes, you're good. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Oh my gosh, I was
I've
like
been
freaking
freaking
out. Okay.
Yeah. Because your rank, I was forgetting that you're Emerald. Yes, your rank is fine. So tonight
Okay.
is the Emerald, but tomorrow is your Success Club has to be made by the last day of the month. So tomorrow is the last day of the month, but you have to have your rank by the evening before, by midnight on Wednesday, always.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Ah, exciting. Okay.
Yep. Yay. I'm sorry, I freaked you out.
No, I just, whatever. Okay. It'll be fine.
So you're good.
Yes.
Anybody else have questions about that? Is anybody trying to push for Emerald that needs help, that doesn't know what to do? Or, I mean, it could mean even putting an order underneath one of your inactive coaches, asking them if they have not become, how do I say this? If they're inactive and they're maybe not ordering something this month, but if they were active, it would make you Emerald, then I would message them and say, can I put an order under you for 50 PV so that I can, be active for one of my goals? It's worth sending out a message to see. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Okay. This is one thing I wanted to just put out there. You absolutely don't have to do it, but something that I feel strongly about is kind of the presence that you set for yourself as a coach. So, and most of you actually, if not all of you, have done a really good job of already kind of cleaning up your profile. So you want to think about, this is your business. So if you are working it like a business, you want it to look professional. You don't want to have a bunch of drunk college photos in your photo albums. You don't want to have a bunch of scantily clad photos of you when you were in college or high school or whatever. You want to look professional. And for me too, I always kind of like to, things that were from years and years and years ago, I kind of just delete those photo albums and have them on my computer or something, because they're not necessary to have all my photos from high school and from before that and a bunch of other stuff. I don't need people to see all of that, since now my profile is pretty public. So a couple tips I wanted to give you guys was, one, to clean up your profile. So your profile pictures, obviously you don't have to go back and delete all of them, but your main picture, keep it consistent throughout all of your social media networks. So like your Facebook, your Instagram, your Fit page, try to make that be the same picture. If it's not, then it does just need to be a nice clean picture of just you, not you and your husband, not you and your dog, not you and your kids, but just you. Because when people come there to your page, they don't want to have to be searching and make sure, wait, is that who I was looking for? I do that all the time when I just have customers. I'm like, I think that's the person, but I can't tell. So you want them to be able to come and know for sure. That is Megan. That's Megan. Yep, that's her profile. This is who I'm looking for. So you want to have a nice clean picture. And then your about section, make sure that's up to date. Make sure that your contact information is in there. Don't do like your phone number and all that kind of stuff, but you can have your email there. Make sure your links work. So I cannot tell you how many pages I've gone to and the links don't work. The link to their Fit page is not the right link, or the link to their Beachbody website is not the right link. So either have me check or have one of your coaches check for you. Have your husband go online and say, hey, honey, can you click on, my Instagram link and on my Facebook link and just tell me if it goes to the right place. Make that helps you to look more professional, because that could mean the difference from somebody ordering from you or somebody becoming one of your coaches versus not, because it's not easy for them to get in contact with you and they might go to somebody else. So just 2 tips about that. And then your cover photo. Even though it's fun to have pictures of your family and things like that, and you absolutely can do that because your family might be your big reason why you're doing this, it is nice for them to also have a place where they can see your contact information. And a lot of you have done this already. You've thought about your why. You've put a couple pictures of you up there, maybe you and your dog, you in a fitness outfit or something, and then maybe you and your husband, if that's all the people in your family. Or maybe it's just a picture of you and then like some quotes and things. Whatever it is, you want it to kind of be branding yourself. You want it to be you, visible for them, and also have some contact information on there. Have your email up there, have your handle for Instagram, and then also have, if you have like a website or a blog, or you have a Fit page, you can also leave that there. Then have a little place where you can say, click for more info, or click to contact me, or something like that. So when they click on the picture, then they can pull up something and they can read about you. You guys can go on my page and look at my example. And I kind of I made it very similar to a couple of the other coaches that I have seen do that as well. And it just makes it nice for somebody who maybe is completely brand new. They don't really know who you are, but someone has said, go check out so-and-so's page, and you go there and they click on that picture and they get to read a little bit about my story, why I'm doing what I'm doing. I used to be a teacher. Now I'm not. I'm a stay-at-home mom with my first kid. And here's a little bit about me. If you're interested in doing a challenge group with me, or you're interested in some accountability, Here's the form to fill out. If you're interested in wanting to coach or create a lifestyle where you can live freely and, fully, then here's the link to fill out this form. So you want to make yourself as available to people as you can. So a great way to do that is to use your cover photo by putting pictures of you, pictures of your brand, of who you are, and a couple other ways that they can contact you. And then the last thing is what I said before, just about your photo albums. You just want to think about what people are seeing when they come to your page, not only just for your own kind of like privacy, but they just don't need to be seeing a bunch of, crazy nights you had in college or or in high school or whatever. You just want to make yourself look a little bit more professional, especially as you become an Emerald coach, you become a Diamond coach, and above from there, you're going to have more customers and more people that you're interacting with, and that's important for you to look professional. Does anyone have questions about that, or just like suggestions or anything that they've seen work for you?
Ashley, do you actually embed a link inside your cover photo itself?
I do. Here, let me actually, I can show you what I'm talking about. Let's see.
Because, if you're saving the cover photo as a photo, how do you have a link embedded? I don't understand.
Can y'all still see my page?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to redo it. Okay, hold on. Share again. And okay. So when I go here, things going slow here. Okay, so I have my Facebook thing up here. I have a little bit about me. If you have a team page or a team name already, you can put your name up there. If you, whatever kind of coach you are, you can do that. If you add a logo, you can add all kinds of things. But so now when people look here, it says click more for details. So they're going to click there and be like, oh, cool. Okay. So then over here, this is what I'm talking about. I have a little bit about me, and I tell kind of my story really quickly. And I'm obviously not going to sit here and read it to you, but you can go through and look at it. And then at the very bottom, and I just kind of tell them, be confident, be passionate, that it's possible for you to feel good about yourself, and then I just tell them if they want to find more out about such and such thing, then they can click here or click here for coach. And so these are the links to my WooFoo forms, which if you don't know what that is, message me aside after this and we will talk about that. But to my form to actually apply for a challenge group or a form to apply to coach. And so if you're going to embed a link like that, all you need to do is you can go to tinyurl.com and you can put the whole long link that it gives you from your WooFoo form in there, and then you can actually customize what it says after here. So this is for people to join my fit club, so I just named it IC Fit Club, Inspiration Crew Fit Club, instead of it being like a 3-line link. Does that make sense, Elizabeth?
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. Does anyone else have questions about just branding and that kind of thing, about how to clean up your profile while we're on that topic?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you said to share a Beachbody Coach website link. I thought we weren't supposed to just give that out.
You can have it on your about stuff, and mine might be, let's check and see. Mine might be on, see, it's not on here. I do have it on my fit page. On here, I just have, this is not visible to them, but I have my email and my link to my fit page and my Instagram. So you just want to link some of your things there so people could come to your page and be able to go there. But on here on my fitness page, and I have the same wording on my fitness page cover photo that I do on my profile page, but I just made it a little bit different. I made just the stuff on it a little bit different, but I still have, again, and I switched the link. So I've got my Instagram handle here, and I have the link for my blog that I am currently trying to get in a groove with. So something like that. And then, your about stuff, just make sure that it's updated. That's pretty much it. Just that there's a little bit about you, that they can find your real Facebook page and your Instagram and that kind of thing. And this is where I've got my Beachbody website, where they can click here, and some people will just order and I have no idea who they are, and they'll go here and it'll take them here and they can go ahead and start ordering if they wanted to.
Quick question about the pictures that you use.
Yes.
How did you get some of those pictures, the solo picture of you, to not have anything behind it? It looks like you cropped yourself.
That is Photoshop. So if you have a picture that you are confident you want to use for a little while and you really love it, you can do a 30-day trial of Photoshop. And I actually use it, so I have it on my computer. I think it's only like $10 a month to use. So if you really used it a lot, you could use that. But it's really simple to use, and I can even do a little tutorial, but they have great tutorial videos on that. And you literally just kind of click around yourself, and it takes away the entire background from you. You could change the background if you wanted, move yourself into a whole different picture, or you can just make the background clear. So that is just something that I did with some of the pictures that I had gotten taken. But it is Photoshop. So if you really wanted to make an awesome cover photo and you had a couple of pictures that you really enjoyed of yourself, or you and your husband and your kids or something like that, you could do a 30-day trial of it and then cancel it, and you won't have to pay for it. So just get all the pictures you really like and then do that to all of them and then have them ready to go and save them all, and then you'll be good to go. You don't have to pay for it.
Okay, I can't remember if it's called PicMonkey or Pink Monkey or whatever, but they have it on there too, and it's free.
PicMonkey?
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about
It's on
it.
there, too.
Awesome. See, I use Canva more, so, and they don't have that on Canva, but, okay,
It's
so,
difficult to use, but you can do it.
yeah, note to self, so you guys can use PicMonkey too, like Rachel just said, if you're not on this live with us.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like I've heard, I may have not, but I've heard it's bad to link your like Instagram photos to automatically post to Facebook.
Yes.
Okay, and I was wondering why. Like, what's the disadvantage there?
It just doesn't look as good, and a lot of times people, especially now with how the you guys know, maybe you don't know, but on Instagram now you only see the first 2 lines of your wording in your Instagram picture, and then you see the first comment. So we used to be doing where you do your whole saying and then you do all your hashtags, in the second comment. And now it's looking really spammy when you do that, because you just have the first 2 lines of whatever your picture is saying with it, and then you see a whole chunk of hashtags. So now what people are doing is they're doing their whole little spiel, whatever you want to say with your picture, entering down a couple lines and putting your hashtags in that main first comment with your picture. So if you're doing it that way, I guess it doesn't really matter as much. But before, Rachel, when people were doing their first comment or with their picture, actually, no, I mean, now it does matter more, because when you do it with your picture, then when you upload it straight to Facebook, you see your whole wording, and then you also see all those hashtags, and it just looks so spammy. It looks so funny and not clean. You don't want to have like, oh, I love my life, blah, 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 blah. Hashtag Beachbody, hashtag this, hashtag that, hashtag that.
Well,
for like 4
I
lines.
don't know if anybody else has seen it. I can't remember which coach I saw that did it, but I started doing it. You can go to my profile and see, but it's so like when you have it in Evernote or whatever you use all your hashtags,
Yeah.
if you just do like 5 like little like dots or something down, so and then you do the hashtags as your first comment, all they see is like a little dot.
That's a good idea.
So then you don't see your hashtags at all, because if you're on your profile and somebody's like looking through,
Yeah.
then the hashtags show still.
Exactly. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll wait for the first couple comments to come in, and then I'll post the hashtags too. And you can do that too. They just don't show up as quickly in whatever those hashtag feeds are.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just kind of have to play around with it and do what you want to do. If you still like to put your hashtags as the first comment, go for it. It's not going to be the matter of people not following you anymore, things like that. It just makes it just all for the image of what it looks like. But yeah, if you're not going to do the hashtags like that, then go ahead and link it to your Instagram. And I used to do that a lot. Actually, I would link it to what I did do. And what I do sometimes is I have my Instagram linked to my Fit page. And so that way, if I forget to post on my Fit page, my Instagram is very much so a lot more fitness stuff than I might remember to post on other things. And so a lot of times I'll link that straight from Instagram to Facebook. And that way, all the fitness stuff is going to my Fit, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I usually only use it if I'm like in a rush or something. I don't have a lot of time. So it's mostly just like for the hashtag reason.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So.
very much so.
Okay. Cool.
Wait, so I have a question. So is it okay to have the hashtags as part of your post that you do on Facebook? Or do you want to get rid of those before you post it on Facebook?
Definitely get rid of them if it's a bunch of them. If it's something like hashtag I hate my life or something like that, something that's like funny, like trying to like add value to your post, or being like hashtag mom life or hashtag best day ever or whatever you're going to say, like 1 or 2 is fine, but you don't want to be that coach that's like hashtag Beachbody, hashtag fitness, hashtag goals, hashtag 21 day fix, hashtag max 30. You don't want to have like a million hashtags behind your picture. And I did that before, like the very first couple weeks I was a coach, because I just didn't know. And that's just how a lot of coaches. So if that's you guys and you don't know, it's just because you don't know. So, but it just.
So is that on like all your posts, like in general, like whether it's Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram, you can have, you want to fill up as many hashtags as you can do and put them at the bottom of your post. But on Facebook, you want it to look a little bit more clean. People they notice more when it's on Facebook, when you have a funny status and then you've got a whole chunk of hashtags. And it doesn't really do as much on Facebook as it does on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Thanks.
Absolutely. Other questions about that before we move on? Okay, cool. Let me stop the share again and go back to our screen again. Let's see. Okay, we're almost done, and then I want to hear from you guys. Let's see if I can get it. These are all just like tips and stuff. Obviously, you don't have to do what I say, that I'm just giving you ideas and things of how you can make yourself look more professional in the new year, just ideas. Okay, some of the things that, and we've talked, I think I've posted most of these, but some of my newer apps and things that I've been using a lot for like videos and things like that are these things. So VidLab is it's a smaller, it's only 15 seconds for a video. But if you are wanting to try to do something different than just doing like the collage videos, excuse me, then this is a fun way to do it, because it can blink different pictures of whatever you're doing, like your workout videos and stuff. So I like to kind of switch it up a little bit. I used to do the collage videos a ton, but I kind of like to do something a little bit different too. And I love that you can put words with VidLab. That's really, really nice. That's one of the apps where you can add words in whatever second you want to add it to. So if you're doing hammer and chisel, you could say hammer and chisel, and then the next move, you can move, and then the next move. So I love that app. Other thing, iMovie is what I've been doing in addition to making like a short VidLab for my Instagram. I'll put the whole movie or the whole clip of my workout into iMovie, and I'll post that. So the last couple workouts that you've seen me do with the music and stuff, and with them in a landscape format, those are all from iMovie, from the app. Super easy to use. You can input your photos or your photos or your videos in there. And then if you have music on your phone, you can input that. So, and I think most of you know that, but just letting you know, some people always ask me what I'm using recently, and that's iMovie. And then Rookie Cam is another photo app if you're needing to find a good one. The filters are really good on it. And so there's a little, under every filter, there's like a little line that you can move up and down to kind of brush out your face. So if you're like feeling really gross and like you've just woken up and you got zits all over your face or whatever, you can like move the little bar a little bit, and it just kind of makes you look a little bit nicer. So if you want something like that, I was just gonna let you guys know that's a really great one. And the filters are really nice. They're not some of the ones that look super filtered. So they kind of and they lighten up pictures a lot too. So if you have like kind of a darker house or a darker area where you normally take pictures, you might enjoy that app as well. Okay, and then the other thing was in my video today, so I'm not going to go hugely into it because you can watch what I posted today about kind of my new routine as far as my power hour goes, and kind of how I'm tracking customers and stuff. But I've been starting to use this site called teamz.com. And what I love about it is that it was created by a very successful Beachbody coach. It is completely compliant with Beachbody, so you're allowed to use it, is what I'm saying. There's nothing that kind of like, it doesn't help you with anything. It just helps you to manage, and it's based on what coaches need to do, which is really cool, because there's a lot of other programs that you can use to track customers and track people that you're talking to, like Asana, or using just an Excel spreadsheet, things like that. And maybe you know of other ones that I don't even know of if you're in more of a business role at your personal job. But this one is really nice because it is it's for Beachbody. So I'll screen share really quickly just to kind of show you briefly what it looks like. Let me see if I can get it to go there really quick. Okay. You can now see this? No, you can't see that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is TeamZ, And when you get there, it does a whole startup wizard for you and everything. And you'll put in, what I like about it is it starts off, it asks you your why. It asks you some of your goals. It asks you your salary goal, not salary, but like your income goal. So like in the next year, what kind of salary do you want to make? Well, how much money do you want? What's your goal? Because thinking about it financially is pretty big for some of you if you're trying to get out of your corporate job or whatever job you're in, or this is providing for your family. So, and what it does is it kind of calculates that based out of how many people you say that you want to talk to a day, how many people you want to follow up with, how many new messages and things like that that you want to send. And then the one thing that I love about it is that it's super easy to import all of your, customers in. So you go into your back office and it teaches you how to do an Excel download of your customers and of your coaches, and you just really quickly put them into here. So all of your customers go in, it shows all of their orders, it shows all of their contact information, everything that was in the back office is there for you now in this website. And what they have you do is you go through, right here I have all, but so like I could go to coaches, and all of you guys are in here, all my coaches. And I can put stars next to you based upon how this week, how much I need to talk to certain ones of you. So maybe you're a 1 because I don't need to follow up with you at all. We've talked a lot this week, you're good to go. Or I put a 5 on you. And that means that you're going to pop up every day in my feed here telling me that I need to follow up with you. And what I like about this for customers and things, say I talked to this girl, Ashley Abbas, today, and I connected with her. I could say, okay, I connected with her through a Instagram message, and this is what I said. And my follow-up, I want to follow up with her in 2 weeks about what we talked about. And I say complete. And in 2 weeks, she will come up here on my dashboard as somebody who I need to talk to when it's been 2 weeks. And so it's awesome. Really, it teaches you, it helps you so much. And it kind of just takes out the part that I hate, having to try to remember and trying to mark in my calendar who I need to talk to and who I need to reach out to. And I forget sometimes because I'm a crazy mom and I'm like all over the place. And so this is one of the things that I learned about in my 5-star and above in my top leader group, which I just had to share with you guys because it's awesome. The one caveat to it is that it is free for 30 days right now, but you do have to pay for it monthly. But obviously you can kind of see why. It does a lot for you and helps a lot with your organization. So if you're somebody who does not have something that you're using as a tracker for your customers, or if you're like me and your Excel spreadsheet is just overwhelming you way too much, then it might be worth it to you to try to push for one extra challenge pack a month to pay for your monthly cost of this. I think it's like $25 or $30 a month. So I just wanted to share that with you for some of you who can afford it or who want to try it out as a trial and see how much you like it. But that's kind of something that I've been using as my new tracker for customers and things like that. So when I am, jotting people down in my notebook, then at the end of the day, I can quickly go in here and just search that contact, and I can jot my little note down about what I talked to them about, and I can remind myself that I want to follow up with them in 2 days because we just talked about a challenge about today, and I want to follow up with them in 2 days because they said they wanted to order. So just kind of a cool tool if you're interested in that, and I wanted to share that with you if you're interested in kind of finding something new for yourself to use. Are there questions about any of those little apps or things that I just shared about?
No, but that is so cool.
It really is. It sucks obviously that you have to pay monthly for it, but I can see why, to be honest. And the one thing that I do like is that it was developed by a coach for coaches, which is what makes it so awesome, because even using other trackers like Asana and things like that, they're lacking in the reminders and in the note sections and in the being able to group them into different things. It's just so, I just love the kind of like mindless way that it helps you with things like that. I need something like that being a full-time mom. So for me, it's worth it. So I would be robbing you guys of an awesome tool if I didn't tell you at least about it. So and then you can make your own decision whether you like it or not. But I do encourage you to try the trial for it because you get 30 days at least to try it.
So question, Ashley, did you forgo your Excel spreadsheet completely?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it stresses me out big time. I'm really OCD, like naturally. And so for me to like have everything there. And then it's like, all of a sudden I can't see all the other columns behind like where I'm at viewing it. And then if I zoom out, then it's like way too small and I get stressed out that I can't see it. It stresses me out. And so for me, this is like glorious, like the greatest gift you could ever give me, because it's just all right there and all my notes are always in there. And one of the other things that, let me get back to it, which I really enjoy too, is sometimes I'm like, I need to send a message and for whatever reason, I like cannot get past myself. And I'm like, what am I know I need to send them. I know I need to follow up with them, but like, what am I going to say? And so I go, oh wait, that's not it. I go to here to promote. And so, okay, I want to invite somebody to, I want to check in with a customer who could be a prospect. And they give you like different ideas about things to say to them. Like, how are your workouts coming along? Like, tell me what you think about your shakes and your blah, blah, blah. Or I want to connect with somebody. I just want to catch up with them. I want to build that relationship with them. Hey, I'm thinking about you today. I just thought I'd write you a note. And if you like that wording, then you can just literally copy it and you can paste it, and your email and your messages and Facebook and everything can be linked to this site. So you can easily just like go where you need to go, send that message and be done with it. And from there you can say, this is, you know, you can put the person that you're following up with and the time and everything. So to me, it's just awesome. Any questions about any of those again?
Hey, Ashley, it looked like you could send emails from there too.
Yes, you can. My Gmail is linked up to it.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, that's like super cool because you can just easily send it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Last thing, and then I'm done talking, and y'all can talk if you want to. So the last thing is goals. I used to not be a goal setter like at all, and that's something that is really so important in this business, because if you just put all this time into your work and all this time into talking to people and messaging people and posting and sharing your life, and you don't have a reason why you're doing it, you really forget about how much you love it and how much you have a goal of why you are doing it. And so if you brought your goals, that's awesome. If you haven't thought about them yet, then I encourage you to do so tonight or before the end of the year, so that when you wake up January 1st, you can feel refreshed and excited, and there's like this whole year in front of you of all these endless possibilities. Like when I think about when I started in November, of last year, like I had no idea that I would be where I am today, but I set goals for myself and I hit almost all of them. So I want for you to be thinking about that, and I want for you to not think little. Like I don't want you to be like, I want to be an Emerald coach by the end of next year. No, dream bigger than that. You can be so much more than that. There are so many amazing things that you can overcome. And I just want for you to dream big, like dreams that make you scared or make you want to cry because they're so hugely awesome. So whether it's, a personal goal or an income goal or whatever it is, dream big. And I want for you to make them very, very specific. So this is something I actually used to do with my students all the time, and my other teachers will probably remember this too. But making your goals smart, and a SMART goal. Hold on one second. Yeah, come in. I love you. Bye. Have fun. My husband's going to race go-karts or cars or whatever it's called with friends for a friend's birthday. So anyways, okay. So back to goals. Goals need to be SMART. So SMART is specific. So not like I want to be such and such coach. You want to be, well, let me go through all of them, then I'll help you with like an idea. So they want to be specific, measurable. Measurable is you want to be able to see the fruits of your labor. You want to be able to measure that actually happened. Attainable. Don't make some crazy goal, but make them big enough to where you can actually achieve it and be excited that you actually achieved that goal. And don't set the bar too low for yourself, because then that's just doing you a disservice. You're not setting the bar high enough for yourself, because you're capable of so much more than you think. So make them attainable, make them relevant. That kind of obviously goes with this. You just want it to be pertaining to your business. And then time-based. You want to give yourself goals. So I encourage you to you can think about it within the context of all of 2016, the whole next year, or you can also think about it quarterly. Remember, Beachbody is broken up into quarters. So it might do you well to think about it as quarters. So by the first quarter, I want to be such and such rank making such and such amount of money, or whatever you want to say. But you could do it by quarters, so there's 4 different quarters, or you can do it by the full year, or if you want to do it by months or by your birthday, or I don't know, by your second wedding anniversary, or whatever you want to say. But give yourself a timeline of when you want to achieve these goals. So that is super important. So if you brought your goals with you, feel free to share them with us here. It might kind of spur on some ideas for other people. Or if you have a question about how do I even get to that goal, I'm here to help you with that. And if I don't remember the answer, then I'll be honest and we'll look at it. We'll look it up. But I just wanted to really encourage you to think of what this next year could hold for you. I know personally that there are so many people, so many of you who are either wanting to make this a full-time income, or you're wanting to leave your job, or maybe your husband hates his job and you want to allow him not to have to work his job, or you want to pay off all your student debt, or whatever the reasoning is, or whatever the goal is. I want for you to really, really think it out. Give yourself goals, give yourself deadlines, and write them down somewhere and post them somewhere in your little office or in your bedroom, or wherever you're going to see it every day, so that you can get excited about them, especially when you start hitting those goals, which is awesome. So 3 different categories I want you to think about. Personally, I want for you to think about what's something personal that you could do for yourself. For me, like, my goal for next year is to become a better leader. So I have never considered myself a leader. I have never in my wildest dreams would think that I'd be sitting here talking to like 20 something of you on a call. Like, that would have like freaked the crap out of me. Even though I'm a teacher and I used to teach all day long, it's different when you're teaching to kids than it is like peers, So that, for me, that is like a huge, like, just milestone for me this year. But I want to become even better of a leader for myself and for you guys to better support y'all. So that's something personal for me. Business wise, I want you to think about, don't just think about like the rank and things like that, but also think about, the people that you want to help. If you think about it that way, you want to put it in your control. You want to think about what you can do. Rank is not really in your control. It's in other people's hands. So if you say, I want to be a 5-star diamond, that's not necessarily in your control. You have to have coaches who want that for you to be able to get there. Does that make sense? So that doesn't allow it to be in your hands. But if you say, I want to help this many people with this many challenge packs, that puts it more in your control. You have full control of talking to as many people as you need to achieve that kind of goal. So think about business goals in that sense, things that are in your control, not in your coach's control, if that makes sense. And then financially, give yourself a goal. It doesn't have to be necessarily a number amount, but be thinking about kind of how big and how scary do you want to get? How much money you are working, because obviously you love helping people and you love the fitness side of it and you love the community and our awesome team of girls and guys. But it is important for you to also make money, especially if this is your job, your full-time job. So, also set yourself some goals financially if that's something that pertains to you as well. So that's pretty much all I have. We'll go back to this. But then my last thing was like, yay, we did it. 2016 is here. So I'm so proud of you guys. And I just am so hopeful for a really awesome year. And I know that it's going to be a great year. And I know that so many of you have just incredible goals. Like, it almost makes me like want to cry because I just get so excited for you guys. So I just want you guys to know that I am here for you to help you however I can. And I want to hear from you. So does anybody have any kind of goals that they want to share, just to kind of even just hold themselves accountable, or they have questions about how to even get there, or how to even set goals? If you don't understand the whole SMART idea, or you need me to put that slide back up, I can. But somebody talk to me because my throat hurts from talking now. Nancy.
I feel like my goals are like scary big, and I'm not sure if they're crazy big, and I'm not sure how to like fine tune them and to be a little more rational, because I've been coaching for 6 months and I feel like it's been very up and down. I've had a lot of coaches and I've lost a lot of coaches, and sometimes I hit Success Club and sometimes I don't. And I definitely am trying to be more consistent because I know where I'm lacking, but I don't know how realistic to actually get with my goals.
Okay, you want to share them with us?
Well, I would like to be completely financially independent and have this be a full-time thing, because I'm working full-time right now. I just became a single mom, and I was a stay-at-home mom before, so I'm not used to being away from my daughter for 40 hours a week, and I don't like it, and I want to go back to being with her all of the time. So I would need to make, I don't know, I'm guessing anywhere at least $30,000 coaching. Is that like too big? And how do I make that happen?
That is not too big. And that comes from you building your team and from you also have to not sell yourself. That sounds bad. You also need to put yourself out there consistently to where you can help people, to where people want to join you. So one of like the biggest things people ask me all the time, like how do you build your team and how do you get challengers and how do you get people interested? And like the main thing is seriously making yourself relatable to people and really finding who you connect with, which is hard for me because I've been like all around the world with that in this year. I was a full-time teacher teaching Spanish, and then all of a sudden I got pregnant, and then I got my pregnant journey, and now all of a sudden I'm a mom, and now I'm not working. And so, your season and your brand and your niche market is not always going to be the same. It's going to change. And so for you, it did just change. You were a stay-at-home mom, and now you're not. Now you're a full-time working mama, and you're trying to make life work. So share about that. Share who you are, share your life, share how you're just fitting it into the cracks, whether it's fitness related, whether it's, how you're getting to spend your Saturday working, but you get to have your daughter with you, or, however it is. You want to always try, as far as building like your team, you want to try to fit coaching into your posts and into what you're putting out to people the most that you can. And it doesn't have to, if you go look through my page, I don't post a ton about saying, join my team, the inspiration crew, hop on board. Like, I don't ever post big promotional posts like that. Maybe once a month when we do our sneak peeks. I post little things here and there, like, okay, like here I am doing a workout with my son on the floor because he's freaking crying all day long and I can't get a workout in. So here it is, and so other moms or other people who are having a rough day, that relates to them. So you want to just try to think about what makes you different, what is your story? First of all, what is your story and what can you share with people? How can you portray that once a day? So for me, like I focus on, I want to share something about working out every single day because that's motivational and that inspires people. No matter what my day is like, somehow I fit something in, whether it's just filming a couple moves that people can do, or I get a full workout in and I get to share about it. I'm being consistent and people see that. Another thing, I share about how I'm coaching in the cracks of my life where it is crazy and half the time my son is crying. I share about that and it's just real life and people relate to that. So for you, share about it. Share that you don't like being home. And so, you love that coaching is your opportunity to change your life and to change, the direction of your life and that you're not going to have to work next year. And then also share just inspiring and motivational things. People love to be motivated. So when and all you guys do this, all of y'all post motivational graphics and Bible verses and, a picture of you or a picture of your coffee with a quote over it. That is all super, super inspiring and motivational things. And so it really honestly comes down to your consistency and down to constantly sharing that stuff. When I think about people, and Jenny was on the call last night too. I think that's only the person who's on here now. But when we had our call with Micah last night, that was like the main thing that it really came down to is talking about coaching so much because your business cannot grow unless you have coaches with you that are supporting you and they're moving forward and they're inspiring more people. And you're just building this whole team of people who all they want to do is help people. And all they want to do is just share their story in the hopes that it inspires somebody else. So the one thing I can say is just try to be as consistent as you can be. Even if you're having a really shitty day, still post about stuff and still just be honest. You don't have to be super happy and like everything's perfect. Like, I mean, half the time I'm like, I feel like all my posts are like, my son's crying again and I haven't done anything today, but here we go. Just be real about that. And I think that's just the main thing is really seriously being consistent. And it's like the word that I like throw at you guys all the time, but it really is so, so true. People notice when all of a sudden you drop off the face of the earth for a couple days or even just a day. After someone's been following you for a long time, they notice if you're not there and they are going to be like, okay, what's up? Like, where are they? So just think about that. Think about really what you can provide to people. Think about what you can give to people every single day. You want them to come to your page and be inspired and be motivated. They want to know, what's Nancy doing today? How is she getting through her job with her working, now she's a single mom and working all day long. How is she getting through that? The people want to know that because that could be your network too. That could be single moms or working moms. There's a whole network of people who need to be inspired by somebody like you. So just try to think about that and think about how you can be creative in sharing just sharing about that, sharing about this is my life and this is how I'm getting through it. And I want you to know that if you're in the same spot as me, then I'm here to, you know, to relate to you and to inspire you as well. And it could be, that's for anybody, you know, no matter what your situation is or what your title is, mom, daughter, you know, what, just a wife, or, you know, whatever. Anything else? Anyone else have questions? Or goals, scary goals? But building your team is really what will help your income, but it also has to be coming from you too. You can't just sit back and say, all right, you guys all do the work for me. You know, that's not what I do. You guys have to actually be, you have to be doing something too. You have to be reaching out and sharing and bringing more people on. I would say, I know from just everything that I've learned in leader pages and in our diamond team calls that Jenny's on with me and stuff. I mean, they talk about adding like 2 to 3 coaches a month, if not like 4 to 6 coaches a month. That is when like your business will really, really, really start moving forward. So even if you could just make it 1 to 2 people a month, that is a really great start, because you're getting to start mentoring people. In turn, that's making you be a better leader. That starts holding you more accountable. That starts making you have to learn all of the back office stuff, and you have to learn how to be a leader, how to lead them, and then you're going to teach them. And that's just kind of how it just continues the cycle of everyone learning how to be a leader, how to kind of tone in what their story is, and then be able to express it to everybody else.
So I have a question now that you've said that.
Yes.
So I mean, I don't know, because we were talking, but like took forever to get to Emerald, because like you said, it's not always in your control.
It is not in your control at all. Yeah.
So I remember me and Jenny were talking about our goals when we first became Success Partners. I was like, I'll be Diamond by December. It'll be awesome. And I'm just not Emerald. So, oh my gosh, sorry, my eye just started twitching. So,
Getting nervous.
oh man, no, but like, I guess my question is, I don't know if you guys talk about it in your Diamond and above, but how, with your power of 3s, are you doubling, tripling? Because I feel like with as many invites as I send, and so many people have said, sure, I'll do it, and then they'll back off, so I don't get a lot of coaches. I want to make sure that I can reach my goals next year, and I feel like I'm going to have to do more. But my thing is, like, you know, being a mom, I'm like, it's hard enough to get power 3s, just regular power 3s, let alone doubling and tripling it. So does that make sense? Like, I don't know what I'm really saying here.
No, it does. Yeah, definitely. If you're wanting to, like, if you're like, okay, next year, like, girl, I want to be out of my job, I want to be making a full-time income, I want to be making like $30,000 to $50,000, then yes, you need to double your power of 3s, because you cannot just reach out to 3 people a day, or just send 4 messages a day, or just hope that one of those people are going to come through. I know for me, and I know Jenny, I think you double, don't you double or triple or something? She triples, yeah. So we both double, triple, quadruple, whatever we can. We send a lot. And obviously that's not every day. You're going to have days where you're like, I just can't send that many messages today. And that's totally fine. And at least doubling is something that you should definitely be doing if you're wanting to build quickly. You absolutely can build slow and steady, and there is nothing wrong with that. And you will eventually make that full-time income. If you're being consistent and doing everything you need to do and building it slow and steady, in a couple years, that will be you. But if you're wanting to build quickly, which is what I did, I was like, bam, like out the door. I'm like, okay, I found out that I'm pregnant. I'm not going back to teaching. So this is going to have to happen. So I like doubled and tripled what I was doing, sent a million messages, followed up like a boss. Even if I followed up the month before, I'd follow up again the next month, and I follow up again the next month, because I don't say it in a mean way. I'm not like, hey, you didn't join my challenge group. You know, why are you not joining me this month? You want to join me again? You know, it's not like that annoying kind of message. You're just saying like, hey, you know, I know we talked about this last month, and I'm opening up my new spots for my next challenge group. So I just wanted you to know that I haven't forgotten about you. If you still want to jump on board, there's a spot for you. If not, no worries. I'd love to have you sometime in the future. That is, if you got that message, would you be offended or feel like you were being like encroached upon? No, that sounds really, really nice, and I mean it from my heart. And if you don't want to join me, that's totally fine. I'll move on to the next person, and I just jot you down. And so now that you guys have been in here, maybe it's your first couple of months, maybe it's 6 months in, maybe it's getting to be 8 months or whatever, you're going to start seeing cycles over of people now that you talked to months ago, or people who you get a message from them and you can see like January of last year, I sent you a message and you never responded. And I saw that you saw it, but you never responded. And all of a sudden they're like, I'm ready. I'm in. I want to join you. And so that's just the name of the game. You'll have people who will never respond to you for months, and you'll see that they have that little seen message, and it will just drive you insane because you know that they saw your message and they never responded to you. But then months down the road, they'll join you. They could become a coach. They could become one of your top coaches. You just never know. So for me, let that little no drive you to send out 5 more messages. But just, yeah, the speed at which you try to double and triple what you're doing is that's just going to make your business grow even faster. And as you start getting coaches in, if you don't know how to lead them, our team, you don't know what to do for them right off the bat, then you need to message me, or you need to message Jenny or another diamond coach on our team, or another person who knows how to build a team, and ask them questions, because that is where it starts. If you can help your coaches start out right from the beginning, that is key. And that's something that I have learned after months of coaching. You know, when I started coaching, I had quite a few girls come on with me at the beginning, and we all kind of didn't know what we were doing. And I was trying to learn how to lead them, but I didn't really know everything either. And so I was not the best leader. I was not. So for me, that's something that I have learned over the months. And as I look back at some of my most successful coaches, they have been the ones who have started and who have really thrived since I kind of honed in on what I wanted to do for my new coaches, and how I got them started with a new coaches packet and got them into team and constantly checked in with them. So that is really, really big too. If you have a coach that's working with you now, it is your job to take care of them, to take them under your wing and teach them everything that you know, or send them to somebody that does, so that they can be successful. You know, don't rob them of that either by not being present with them. So that's huge too, in helping you build your business further, as well as, you know, join them into our team like this. You know, who doesn't want to have a bunch of girlfriends on a Thursday night to hang out with, or Wednesday night? So, but definitely doubling up and really supporting your new coaches is a huge way to really start moving your business forward. What else? Other questions? Or did that answer your question at all?
No, yeah, it did.
Okay, cool. Anything else?
So Ashton, I have 2 questions.
Yes, go for it.
Okay, so I'm struggling the most with bridging the gap between catching up with them, and then how do I insert the Beachbody conversation / invite? Because I have added all sorts of old friends from way back in the day, catching up with them, small talk, blah, 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 and then then what?
Okay, so then what? So if you've built that relationship with them, like you talk to them a little bit, like it's not like out of the blue all of a sudden you're like, hey, join my group, and they're like, who are you? It's not like that. Okay, so once you've done that, then it's as simple as saying, hey, JoJo, I don't know if you'd be interested, but I've loved catching up with you over the last few months. I'm hosting my next accountability group in January, and it's basically just a place for all of us to get together. You get to pick out a workout program, and you drink these awesome shakes, and I just get to hold you accountable for a month. Would you be interested in learning more about it? Because it's so awesome. You know, make it sound like you, but that's like me. I'm like always like overboard. I'm like, it's so sweet. You just love it. It's so much fun. You know, that's just how I sound in all my messages, but make it sound like you. And something as simple as that, like, hey, it's been so much fun catching up. I would love for you to join me. I don't know if you're interested in fitness or anything like that, but I just wanted to put it out there since we've been chatting lately. Something that you shouldn't be nervous about that at all, because it's somebody that you've been talking to. It's not like some new person who you don't know, or who, you know, is just barely following you. If you've been kind of building that relationship or commenting on their pictures every so often, just send them a little mindless message, and they'll be like honest with you. Yeah, I want to find out more, or no, I can't really afford that, you know?
So when they come back with, oh, I just don't have the money, do you put them on a list for later?
Yeah, you say, girl, I totally understand. If you'd be interested in the future, do you mind if I follow up with you in the next couple of months for some of my other groups? And a lot of times they'll for me, a lot of times they'll come back and say, oh, I just can't really afford it right now, maybe another time, or maybe. And that to me is like, okay, I'll put you on my list. Like, you're giving me an invitation to follow up with you later on. So yeah, put them on a list to follow up with them at another time.
Okay. And then my other question is, so my upline, we don't really talk that much. And so is there somebody else that wants to work with me?
I will. Hello, I'm your next person above.
Okay.
You're up one. Yeah.
Okay. Because like Stevie and I work a lot, but we're kind of like the same person a lot because neither one of us has more experience than the other. So we are kind of going through it together, which is
that what you're talking about?
good, but sometimes it's nice to have, I don't know, people who have a little more experience to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
My example names. Oh yeah, JoJo. Or Cindy. I think in my Cindy Lou Who on my other video, I'm like, quick, think of a name, and then and then I was like, Cindy Lou Who. Let's see, Diana. Do you have any questions? JoJo must be from Fixer Upper. Oh yeah, I guess so. That's funny. Yeah, you guys, I'm always here for you. If I'm not like your sponsored coach and you're like a coach under one of my coaches' coaches, that's okay. I'll help you. So just send me a message. I'm not mean. I'll help you. Does anyone have anything else they need help with or another goal they want to just like be like, bam, this is my goal. So help me. Diana. Aw, that's great. Diana just joined us 2 days ago, so I'm excited. She's one of my challengers. She's awesome. Well, if nobody has anything else, don't leave yet because we have to do a selfie. Hold on. Let me shift this. Courtney, don't go away. I thought you were getting up. I'm like, don't go away. Okay, hold on. All right, everyone get their best pose on, and I look sweaty and gross since I just worked out. And on a count of 3, we're going to smile, and I'll post this so y'all can use it tonight because what are you going to do? You're going to share about coaching and how you have a bunch of best girlfriends on Wednesday night. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Ah! Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to let you guys go so you can enjoy the rest of your night, but thank you for joining us tonight, and if y'all have other questions, you know that I'm always here for you. If you have goals and you just didn't want to share them with everybody, please email them to me. You always can. If you don't know my email, it's ashrod01, ASHROD01 @gmail.com. And just send them to me. Jenny sent me hers in like a Google Doc format so I can jot down things on them. But feel free to do that so that I can hold you accountable or help you. If you have big, scary, hairy goals of being like 2-star diamond, you're going to need to know how to get there. So let me help you. There's like a lot of other things that go into that besides just adding coaches. You have to have certain kinds of volume and things like that. So let's chat about that on the side if you've got big goals because I want to help you get there. It's totally possible.
Hey, Ashley.
Yeah.
Do you know, would we get a Success Club point if we got somebody to sign up for the Shakeology boosts on Home Direct, or is it just strictly Shakeology?
I think you do get a point. Jenny, don't we get a point for that? I'm pretty sure we do.
I'm pretty sure because it's like a performance pack.
The performance, yeah.
Okay.
I'm almost positive. I'll go look after this, but I'm like 99% positive.
I think so too, because they were worried about like competing with Shakeology, so they wanted to make it even.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the same for like the performance line too, if somebody signed up for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because people will forget that it has to be HD, it has to be Home Direct.
Okay.
That's her workout.
Thanks.
Coaching.
Awesome. Okay, well, mwah, love you guys. I'm so proud of you this year, and I'm really excited for next year because I see some awesome girl boss stay-at-home moms coming in soon. I'm excited. Okay, see you guys. Have a good night.
Bye.